Hello, passionate Celtic FC fans. This is Celtic Central News, your exclusive source for Celtic updates. Before we kick off, we appreciate the incredible support. If you love Celtic, subscribe now, hit like, and let's build this community together. Now, on to the latest news. A warm welcome to new subscribers. Your support is crucial. Hail, hail! The news broke like a thunderclap over Glasgow, the kind that makes every Celtic fan stop whatever they're doing and check their phone twice just to be sure their eyes aren't playing tricks on them. MUNTEANU, the Romanian striking sensation, has officially signed for Celtic in what's being described by insiders as a record-breaking deal for the club. Parkhead hasn't seen a stir like this in years, and the streets outside the stadium were already buzzing with green and white scarves fluttering in the wind before the sun had even peaked over the Clyde. Nobody quite believed it when the first whispers started floating around a few days back. The kind of whispers you dismiss because they sound too wild, too ambitious, too far from the usual transfer reality. But here we are, and it's real. Celtic have splashed the cash in a way that tells the whole of Scottish football, the boys, mean business this season. The signing fee hasn't been officially confirmed, but sources close to the board are talking about a figure that shatters previous spending records for the club, a move signaling intent not just for domestic dominance, but for making waves in Europe as well. The reaction from fans has been nothing short of electric, a mix of pure joy and cautious optimism, the kind of emotional cocktail that only football can serve up. On social media, Celtic Twitter went into full meltdown mode, with highlight reels of MUNTEANU's best goals circulating faster than a winger on the counterattack. His pace, composure, and eye for goal have been the talking points, with many supporters already imagining him in that famous green and white hoops wheeling away, in celebration in front of the Jock Stein stand. But alongside the excitement comes the inevitable pressure. Celtic have invested big, and with that comes expectation. Expectation that MUNTEANU will be the kind of striker who can deliver week in, week out, whether it's a cold Wednesday night in Dingwall or a Champions League night under the lights. Some fans, with memories still fresh from previous big money moves that didn't quite work out, are urging patience, reminding everyone that settling into Scottish football can take time. But for now, the sheer buzz has drowned out the cautious voices, and all eyes are on the first time he steps onto the Celtic Park pitch. Behind the scenes, this move has been brewing longer than many might think. Reports suggest that Celtic scouts have been following MUNTEANU's progress closely for over a year, with particular attention given to his performances in high-pressure matches. The breakthrough apparently came when a member of the recruitment team attended a European qualifier where MUNTEANU bagged a brace, dominating the game from start to finish. From that moment, the wheels were set in motion. Negotiations were set to be intense, with rival clubs from Italy and Germany sniffing around, but Celtic's persistence and perhaps a persuasive phone call from the gaffer sealed the deal. The financial side was always going to be tricky, with the Romanian club holding firm on their valuation, knowing full well they had a hot commodity on their hands. Celtic's willingness to push the boat out and break their transfer record speaks volumes about their belief in this player's potential. Insiders have hinted that the board sees MUNTEANU as a centerpiece for the club's long-term project, a signing designed not just to win titles now, but to raise the team's profile and open the door for more ambitious moves in the future. For MUNTEANU himself, the move marks a massive leap into a new chapter. He's gone from being a highly regarded prospect in Romania to becoming the face of Celtic's most expensive transfer ever. That's no small shift, and it's the kind of step that can define a career. The striker has already spoken briefly to the press, expressing excitement at the challenge and pledging to give his all for the shirt. He mentioned the atmosphere at Celtic Park as one of the big draws, saying he'd heard stories from former players about the roar of the crowd and the way it can lift you when your legs are heavy. It's clear he's done his homework. This isn't a move made on a whim. He talked about wanting to write his own story in Glasgow, to be part of the club's rich history, and to bring joy to supporters. That's exactly the kind of talk that fans want to hear in the honeymoon period of a transfer. But the real test will come soon enough, when the whistle blows and the defenders of the Scottish Premiership get their first crack at stopping Celtics. New record man, The dressing room reaction has also been telling. Several current players took to Instagram and Twitter to welcome MUNTEANU, with some posting playful messages about feeding him the ball and letting him do the rest. It's clear there's a buzz inside the camp, and that can only help the betting process. The gaffer has kept his cards close to his chest about how he plans to use MUNTEANU, but there's speculation he could be the focal point of a revamped attacking setup. Some pundits have even suggested this signing could push Celtic to change their style slightly, leaning more on direct attacking play to make the most of MUNTEANU's pace and finishing. If that's the case, it could mean some tactical tweaks that have fans debating formations and starting lineups already. Of course, the competition for places up front is fierce, and while the fee makes MUNTEANU a likely starter, he'll still need to earn his spot through performances. That competitive edge could drive the whole squad to another level, and if things click, Celtic might just have assembled the most dangerous attack in the league. From a business perspective, this move is as much about brand building as it is about goals on the pitch. Celtic's board knows that marquee signings have a ripple effect far beyond the 90 minutes of football. Merchandise sales spike, international interest grows, and the club's profile in key markets gets a boost. With MUNTEANU's growing reputation in Eastern Europe, there's potential to tap into a fresh fan base and strengthen the Celtic brand abroad. That's not just about selling shirts, it's about building relationships, securing sponsorships, and increasing the club's bargaining power in future negotiations. In a football world where commercial power can dictate competitiveness, moves like this are strategic as well as sporting. It's no coincidence that the unveiling video was slick cinematic and aimed squarely at social media virality. Celtic know the value of a story, and the story right now is that they've pulled off one of the boldest transfer moves in their modern history. The challenge will be ensuring that the excitement generated today translates into tangible results when the season heats up. The Scottish media naturally have gone into overdrive. Every back page is plastered with MUNTEANU's name. Every sports talk show is debating whether he's worth the money, and every ex-pro has an opinion on how he'll adapt. Some are convinced he's the missing piece that will help Celtic dominate, not just domestically, but make a real splash in Europe. Others caution that the Scottish game can be a shock to players from abroad, especially when it comes to the physicality and the weather. Then there's the inevitable comparisons to past strikers who arrived with big reputations and left with a whimper. But even the skeptics admit there's something different about this deal, a sense of genuine ambition that's hard to ignore. For now, the dominant narrative is one of excitement and anticipation. Every fan is counting down to that first match day when MUNTEANU's name appears on the team sheet, and if he marks his debut with a goal, especially in front of the home crowd. The noise in Parkhead might just register on the Richter scale. Meanwhile, across the city, you can bet there's been a few raised eyebrows. Rangers supporters are already questioning whether their club will respond with a big move of their own. And the media are stoking the flames of the rivalry as only they can. In Glasgow, football transfers are never just about the player. They're about bragging rights, momentum, and a psychological edge. Celtic's signing of MUNTEANU has certainly made a statement, and it's one that will echo through every Old Firm discussion from now until they meet on the pitch. The first derby after a signing like this takes on added significance. If MUNTEANU delivers in that cauldron, it could cement his place in the hearts of the fans instantly. But if he struggles, it will give the blue half of the city all the ammunition they need. That's the beauty and the brutality of football in this part of the world. Every triumph is magnified, and every misstep is amplified. For Celtic, the gamble has been taken. For MUNTEANU, the stage is set. Now all that's left is to see if this bold chapter ends in glory. The buzz around Celtic Park hasn't eased one bit since the official unveiling, and if anything, is only intensified as training ground snippets have begun to leak. A few short clips of MUNTEANU in action during his first sessions have fans dissecting every touch, every run, and every shot like forensic analysts on a mission. The crispness of his finishing, the sharp turns, the hunger in the way he presses, it's all feeding into the growing belief that Celtic may have just landed a genuine game changer. Coaches have reportedly been impressed with his attitude, noting that he's arrived in top condition, eager to adapt and integrate quickly. That's no small thing when you consider the pace and intensity of Scottish football, where strikers can't just be poachers, they need to graft, chase, and battle for every ball. MUNTEANU seems aware of that challenge, and the early signs suggest he's not shying away from the dirty work. Fans are already talking about potential strike partnerships, imagining how he might link up with the wingers and whether his movement could open up new angles for the midfield. The anticipation is bordering on fever pitch, and the season hasn't even kicked off yet. In the pubs and supporters clubs, the chatter is relentless. You can't walk into a bar near the Gallagate without overhearing a heated debate about how many goals MUNTEANU will bag this season. Some are predicting 20 plus. Others are cautious, pointing to the adjustment period many foreign strikers need. But the common thread in every conversation is excitement. That rare, tangible buzz that seems to make pints taste better and match days feel closer. Even the old-timers, the ones who've seen 100 signings come and go, are allowing themselves a smile at the thought of a proper number 9 leading the line. There's talk of how his style might suit the rougher away games, where a bit of pace and steel can make all the difference on muddy winter pitches. And of course, the prospect of seeing him in an old firm clash is dominating minds. Those games have made heroes and villains out of players overnight, and MUNTEANU's name could be added to the lore if he rises to the occasion. For now, though, the supporters are content to dream, pint in hand, scarf round neck, waiting for the first whistle of the new campaign. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. The board, too, are quietly basking in the afterglow of a transfer coup that's got the whole league talking. Financially, it's a gamble, but one they believe is calculated. The investment isn't just in MUNTEANU's ability to score goals. It's in his marketability, his potential resale value, and the statement it sends to players across Europe that Celtic are serious contenders for top talent. There's an understanding that football today is as much about perception as performance. A club willing to smash its own transfer record sends a message to future targets that ambition is alive and well at Parkhead. The commercial department is already plotting international tours and fan events to maximize the new signing's reach. There's talk of Romania-based fan clubs being officially recognized, merchandise being tailored for Eastern European markets, and even the possibility of friendly matches to strengthen ties. This is bigger than a signing. It's a strategic shift. Celtic aren't just aiming to dominate Scotland, they're aiming to expand their footprint, to be a name that resonates far beyond British shores. And with MUNTEANU leading the line, they've found the perfect poster boy for that vision. Yet amid all the euphoria, the reality check is never far away. The Scottish Premiership can be a brutal proving ground for new arrivals, no matter how talented they are. Cold Tuesday nights, wind whipping in from the North Sea. Defenders who'd rather knock you into the advertising boards than let you turn. It's a league that demands resilience as much as skill. Some pundits have been quick to remind fans of other high-profile signings who struggled to adapt, warning against placing too much pressure on MUNTEANU too soon. But perhaps the difference here lies in his mentality. Reports from those who've worked with him in Romania speak of a player who relishes challenges, who thrives when the odds are stacked. That attitude could be his greatest asset in Scotland, where mental toughness often separates the good from the great. And while fans are dreaming of hat tricks and title-winning goals, MUNTEANU himself seems grounded, speaking more about teamwork, hard work, and adaptation than personal glory. If he keeps that mindset, he may not just survive in the Premiership, he might just flourish, turning skeptics into believers along the way. Training sessions are becoming small spectacles in themselves, with curious fans gathering at the fences whenever they can catch a glimpse. The way he strikes the ball has already been described as clean and ruthless by one coach, and teammates have reportedly taken note of how sharp his movement is off the ball. It's those little details, the subtle dart between defenders, the perfectly timed run, that could make him a nightmare for opposing backlines. Early drills show him linking up well with the creative midfielders, which could be the key to unlocking packed defenses that Celtic often face at home. There's even been talk of trying him in a slightly deeper role in certain matches, allowing him to drop into space and pull markers out of position. That versatility could prove invaluable, over a long, grueling season. And with European fixtures always testing the depth of the squad, having a forward who can adapt his game might be the difference between progression and elimination. Fans watching these glimpses leave with big smiles, convinced they're seeing the start of something special, and telling anyone who will listen that this lad's the real deal. Meanwhile, the media circus shows no sign of slowing. Every time MUNTEANU speaks, every photo from training, every speculative article about his potential debut date is gobbled up by the football-hungry public. Sports talk shows are filled with debates about whether he's a complete striker or if Celtic will need to adjust their system to get the best out of him. Former players have weighed in, with some predicting he'll hit the ground running and others suggesting it could take half a season to truly see his best. But no matter the opinion, one thing is clear. He's the story. In a summer transfer window already full of twists and turns, this is the headline act in Scotland. Even neutrals are intrigued, wondering if this signing could raise the overall standard of the league. And if Celtic's gamble pays off, it might just encourage other clubs to be bolder in their recruitment. For now, though, it's all about the waiting game. That tantalizing anticipation before debut that could either confirm all the hype or bring everyone back down to earth. Inside the Celtic camp, preparations for the season are ramping up, and MUNTEANU is slotting into the rhythm. Team bonding activities, tactical drills, and set-piece rehearsals are all part of the process. The gaffer has reportedly been working closely with him on pressing patterns and positional play, ensuring that when the real games begin, he's fully integrated. There's a sense that this isn't just about individual brilliance, but about making MUNTEANU a seamless part of a well-oiled unit. Players who've trained alongside him have spoken about his willingness to listen, his sharp footballing brain, and his knack for finding pockets of space. That last trade in particular could be a nightmare for defenses that already have their hands full with Celtic's other attacking threats. It's becoming clear that the excitement isn't just fan-driven. The players themselves seem energized by having a new weapon in their arsenal. And that's often a good sign. When a dressing room embraces a new signing, the transition tends to be smoother, the chemistry builds faster, and the results on the pitch start to follow naturally. As the clock ticks down to his first competitive match in the green and white, the whole city seems to be holding its breath. Tickets for the opening home game have been snapped up in record time, with many hoping to witness a debut goal that could etch MUNTEANU's name into Celtic folklore. Instantly, the build-up feels almost cinematic. The packed stands, the anticipation in the air, the music blaring as the players emerge from the tunnel. If he delivers in that moment, the roar from Parkhead could be deafening, a sound that says to the rest of Scotland, Celtic have raised the bar. But football has its own script, and sometimes it writes unexpected twists. Whether he scores or not, this is just the first chapter of what promises to be a fascinating story. For MUNTEANU, it's a chance to justify the faith and the record fee. For Celtic, it's a statement of intent, a reminder that they're always looking forward. And for the fans, it's the start of a new dream, one that could end with silverware, glory nights in Europe, and the name Louis MUNTEANU sung loud from the stands. Hello fan, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.